Hello YouTube family, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Sharida. Welcome. And if you are a returning viewer, well, thank you all so much for the love and the continued support of my channel. You guys, thank you for 18K. Are y'all tired of me thanking y'all like every 1,000? Well, I'm not tired of thanking you because I am beyond grateful. Literally, I think within the last couple videos that aired, I was thanking you all for 17K. And here we are again. So a big thank you to my YouTube family, my community. I love you all and I just cannot get over the amazing support. All right. So today's video, you guys, we are getting into feminine powdery fragrances. Until I sat down to create the list for this video, I didn't realize how much of a powdery fan I am because I literally had to chop half of the fragrances off. Like, I didn't want the video to be too long. I didn't want to have 20 fragrances on here, but the list literally could have been a top 20. That's how much I love powdery fragrances. So powdery fragrances can be such a range, you guys. It's not just like baby powder or something basic. They can range in the way they smell, the texture of the powderiness, the vibe, everything. So if you're a fan of powdery fragrances, you don't want to miss this video, okay? You need to be here and paying close attention to this list because they are all phenomenal fragrances. Now, if you're on the fence about powdery and you're not sure and you're like, oh, well, so far, you know, I'm not feeling the listen, I got you covered. I have got you covered because by the time I break down this list, I'm telling you, you're going to have something on this list that will speak to you and that you will love. So you guys, without further ado, let's get into my list of top feminine powdery fragrances. Okay, you guys, so this is my first time actually sitting down and filming since I got back from Hawaii. Everything you've seen beyond this point is pre-recorded. And so this is literally like just my first time sitting down with you guys and hello, I'm so glad to be back. You guys, when I got back from Hawaii, literally the first day that I got back, I got sick. It wasn't COVID. I thought maybe it was, but I was struggling for like a full week and I'm still not quite completely over it because I feel like I'm talking through my nose. So if my voice sounds a little off, that is why. So I apologize for that. But I'm happy to be back, okay? All right, now before we get into my list of powdery fragrances, we do have a wonderful sponsor for today's video. I have teamed up with Fragrance. So if you have never heard of favegrance.com, they are a website that will have everything in a one-stop shop. So it doesn't matter if you are a niche girl, if you're an indie girl, celebrity fragrances, designer fragrances. When you go through that website, you're going to be astounded at the selection. And the best part, my favorite part, is that most of these fragrances are discounted, deeply discounted. And I'm going to give you two that I think you should get on your radar because they are phenomenal fragrances. So if you are into feminine fragrances, you want something that will wow, okay, that will perform, that will project expensive vibes, okay, you need to get your nose on these two fragrances. The first fragrance is Jump Up and Kiss Me by Clive Christian. This fragrance I have raved about. It is definitely a tuberose scent for the tuberose girls. If you're a lover of tuberose, you love a feminine scent, but you want it sweet, you want it powerful, you want it sexy, this is the fragrance for you. So Jump Up and Kiss Me Ecstatic version is the feminine version, is one that just blew me away and it was love at first sniff. This fragrance has ylang ylang in there, okay? So it's coupled with the white florals, but it makes it creamy instead of sharp and matronly. So if you're a lover, of a creamy white floral, but sweet because it's accented with a ton of vanilla, with some spiciness from pink pepper, this one is a must try, must buy, must sniff, must something, okay? Do not sleep on this fragrance. And I was just blown away when I saw the price that this is being offered for. So definitely check this one out. And then the next fragrance I'm going to recommend is actually a powdery fragrance. So it's going to fit right into the category that we are diving into today. And that is going to be DRACO by Tiziana Terenzi. Now, you know that Tiziana Terenzi is just a house that has amazing powdery fragrances. I would say the vast majority of fragrances that I've smelled from the house that are marketed towards women are going to be very powdery for the most part, powdery, musky. And DRACO is probably one of the most beautiful, powdery, fruity, floral fragrances in my collection. Now, this is not going to wear as loud and as strong as, you know, many of the beast mode fragrances in the house. However, this has amazing performance. This one is going to garner compliments and it will get you noticed. So if powdery is definitely your vibe and you want something that is powerful but still very feminine, definitely check this one out. This fragrance opens with a burst of citrus and green notes, but then you immediately get into a beautiful, juicy peach, okay? It's accented with magnolia, jasmine, some woody notes, pear and vanilla in the base, and a big dose of heliotrope and tonka, which is going to give it that beautiful powdery quality. And of course, the Tiziana Terenzi musky DNA. So I do find that that is usually the make or break for this house, as I always state. So it is beautiful if you love that DNA of the house, you don't mind the musk. This one is absolutely a 10 out of 10 powdery fragrance. Again, that is DRACO by Tiziana Terenzi. All right, so you guys definitely check the description box below for details on the fragrance website, because when you do make your first purchase, you can actually save 10% with the code WELCOME10. And also, if there is any bottle marked for retail, you automatically get a discount once it's added to cart on fragrance. So again, a big thank you to them for sponsoring today's video, you guys. And without further ado, let's jump right into my list, guys. So the very first one on this list is going to be one that has me in a complete chokehold. Now, when I say powdery, I mean this one is powdery. This is a powder bomb. Now, let's back up. Before we get into this particular fragrance, you have to understand what you're looking for. I'm all about educating you on fragrance, because when I learn something, I'm excited to teach, okay? Because this is going to make your blind buying go so much better. This is going to make your learning your likes and dislikes so much more clear. So a powdery fragrance typically will have purple florals, okay? So we're talking about heliotrope, we're talking about violet, we're talking about iris. Sometimes carrot seeds can lend a powdery quality to a fragrance, and also musk. Though musk isn't powdery, the way the musk is done can definitely come out powdery in certain fragrances. So this first one, honey, powdery, fruity explosion, femininity in a bottle, okay? This is from the house of MDCI, and this is La Belle Helene. This is inspired by the dessert. However, some people may get gourmand from this. I more so get fruity floral. I don't get full on gourmand, but it is sweet. It is very fruity, and it is, again, a purple flower powdery bomb. So you have a gorgeous pear note, which is the star fruit, but it is coupled with beautiful tangerine. You have some Mirabelle plum in there that you can distinctly pick out. You've got osmanthus. You have some ylang ylang, so it's creamy, powdery. Also have aldehydes, which can also lend powdery quality to a fragrance. So you have all these things coming together with the addition of musk, oak moss, woody notes, vetiver, myrrh, rose, hawthorn. I mean, there is a ton of notes in this fragrance. Complex, but it is pretty much a very beautiful masterpiece powdery fragrance that has pear as the star. So if you enjoy a, a iris fragrance with a pear note, this is highly recommended, okay? Not a safe blind buy at all. Again, very complex, very, very heavy on, the amount of notes. So there may be one or two things that kind of throw you off, or I feel like If you love iris and pear, you will probably love this one. Get it on your radar, test it, and I will have everything linked in the description box below as to where you can actually sample this as well. Again, that is La Belle Helene by MDCI. All right, you guys, so the next one up on this list is going to be from the house of Sospiro, and this is Vibrato. So Vibrato, it blew my mind, okay? Because I'm not a huge freshy girl. I've said that many a time. However, I did say I wanted to really elevate my freshy game for this spring and summer. And this is truly one of the most elevated freshies, period. So you have this bright citrusy opening in Vibrato, but it is also very powdery. This is quite unisex to the point where I feel like women definitely test with them first, because this can come off as a little I want to say a little fougere, like a little masculine leaning, just a hair. So test it first, but this is like a citrus that performs, you guys. This has amazing sillage, amazing longevity, and there is just something truly addictive about the way this smells. You have a hint of greenness in it because it does have green notes. Also have a very bright grapefruit and bergamot in the opening. You have jasmine and magnolia at the top. There's ginger in this that makes it so, like, it's got this happy zing to it because of the ginger. And then in the base, you have cedar, musk, a touch of patchouli. You've got some amber, and you have orris root. I'm an orris root girl. I love orris root in my fragrances, and it gives it a beautiful powdery texture that I feel like you get the powder, but it takes it out of that baby powder category. So if you're looking for something that is citrusy, but powdery, you know, happy, fresh, but a little bit of a beast, you know, Vibrato is when you need to get your nose on. It is quite pricey, so try before you buy and see how it performs on you. But this is like star quality, 10 out of 10, freshie in my opinion. Gorgeous fragrance. Again, this is Vibrato. All right, so this next one is going to be a powdery fragrance that has a beautiful solar vibe and quality to it. So powdery is something that I really gravitate towards for spring and summer, because when it gets really hot and humid and sticky, this is the way that I prefer to feel really fresh. And I feel like the powdery quality of fragrances can keep you feeling a little drier, you know? And that is exactly where Poudre d'Or comes in. And this is from the house of Mizensir. Again, another 10 out of 10 powdery fragrance. But this one, like I said, it has a solar quality about it. So you automatically smell this and get like this skin glistening in, you know, the sun beach vibe from this, even though it doesn't go into like suntan, Soleil Blanc type of category. You can wear this for the same type of occasion. This, I find, would make a beautiful signature scent. If you're a girl that loves a powdery, this is definitely a must try. Poudre d'Or is very powdery to the point where it is creamy, okay? Very finely milled powder, if you can imagine that, and creamy at the same time. Tiare flower, okay, which gives it that very summer vibe, tropical vibe, but I get more like a solar vibe than like beachy, if that makes any sense. So this one I'm completely obsessed with, as you can see, and I haven't worn it in a while because this one is one I love to reserve for spring and summer. But please believe she will be getting her wares. This is powdery elevated, okay? This is powdery rich girl. I've got it together. I am very comfortable in my skin. I am class. This is class in a bottle, like so many from this house, you know, and they have captured a way to do powdery and solar and class all in one. All right. Again, this is Poudre d'Or by the house of Mizensir. All right, next up is going to be a powdery fragrance that is going to head into that gourmand category. That is Orchidee Vanille. This is a fragrance that is chocolatey, okay? You've got a hint of citrus, and I find that the star is almost like a tie between this powdery chocolatey vibe with vanilla. So if you're a vanilla lover, okay, hello. This one by Van Cleef Arpels is just one you need to get your nose on. Like, this is a must. And I find that this one gets better with time. When I first got this, I feel like I had to really overspray this to smell it, to, you know, to help it stick around. But I find that this I've taken out of the weak performing category, and it's definitely very moderate wearing. I can still smell this on me when I overspray after 8 hours. So spray this heavy, but if you love a very, you know, powdery vanilla fragrance that has a chocolate aspect to it, very warm, comforting, inviting, I would say more suited for fall, you know, a little, maybe a little bit in spring, but winter, fall for sure. This is the powdery vanilla fragrance that you need to get your nose on because it is delicious. Okay, it's sweet, not overly sweet, not thick, sweet, and cloying because it is powdery. Very, again, comforting, cozy type of vibe. So if that sounds like something you would enjoy, trust me, get your nose on this one because it is chef's kiss. All right, you guys. So next up on this list is one that just does not get enough attention and love, and it is gorgeous. This is from Chloe's Atelier des Fleurs collection, and this is a vanilla Planifolia. So if you're a vanilla girl, if you're a vanilla lover, this is just a must smell, must try, must sniff, must something, because this is just absolutely stunning and it's unlike any other vanilla in my perfume collection. And I say that because this has a focus on the vanilla flower, the orchid. So vanilla orchid comes off as powdery, okay? It can have like a powdery musky vibe to it. And this is the star of the show. So you have a very powdery, you know, orchid vanilla scented vibe here, but it does also have the vanilla spice featured in here along with some woody notes. So I wore this as my scent of the day yesterday. When I tell you I was feeling myself all day. So this is going to be for the girl who does not necessarily want that really sweet, gourmand, cloying, you know, vanilla. She wants to be very feminine, very soft, powdery, a little sweet, a little warm, spicy, but nothing over the top. This is just super feminine and it's super gorge, okay? So this fragrance you can get at the Chloe boutique. You can order direct. It's very hard to find all of a sudden. Like when I bought this, you could just go right to Nordstrom's, boom. Now all of a sudden it's sold out everywhere. If I'm not mistaken, they should have the smaller bottles restocked on the Chloe website soon. For right now, they have the really big 5-ounce bottles, which of course I wouldn't recommend you starting with something that large. But this thing is gorgeous, okay? So if you're looking for a powdery vanilla, look no further. The notes of Quentin Beige. And I just think that this is such a star vanilla fragrance that, again, focuses on the orchid aspect of the vanilla. So it's just very, very soft. It's clean. It's a little warm, spicy, and it is vanilla. Very simply put, okay? Nothing overly complex and crazy, but it is just one that I am really enjoying, and I highly recommend you get your nose on this one. Again, that is Vanilla Planifolia by Chloe. All right, next up is going to be not a warm, you know, powdery fragrance, which I feel like we've had quite a few on this list. This one is very cold and metallic, and it is named appropriately. This is a Metallique. So a Metallique is complex, okay? This is a spicy, powdery vanilla. It has a very metallic smell, you know, tone, feel to it, and it is so unique and so gorgeous. This is not going to be a powdery fragrance for everyone. This is for, you know, a girl who likes a little different. I do feel like this is unisex, but maybe leaning a little feminine. This will remind you of Abracadabra 221, but I feel like this goes off into a colder, powdery version of that fragrance. Abracadabra 221, I feel like it's this floral. It's a little citrusy. It's a little spicy. It's a little aldehydic. where I feel like this is full on powder, okay? So this one too does have the aldehydes, which I feel like is the thing that really connects them and makes them so addictive in nature and gorgeous in their own right. One of my favorite fragrances from the house. This is going to feature the heliotrope, okay? Again, purple flower, but it's also accented with lily of the valley, which is also a flower that has a very powdery quality to it. You've got some hawthorn. You have ambrette, which can also be musky powdery, you know, in texture. You got some pearl balsam, a creamy sandalwood, but the star is without a doubt, you know, the heliotrope, the aldehydes, and the vanilla. So you guys, I think this one is moderately priced for Tom Ford. The performance is not all that great. Thank God it's not at the price of like the private, you know, Tom Ford fragrances, because that would just be, you know, too much. But for this scent, for the uniqueness of it and the beauty of it, this is just one that is worth decanting and topping off, okay? So powdery fragrance that has a, you know, a very cooling, calming quality. That to me just says elevated. This is a very elevated powdery scent that is like no other. Again, that is Metallique by Tom Ford. So another very feminine powdery fragrance that has that cosmetic, you know, makeup powder vibe is going to be from the house of Goutal, and this is Etoile d'une Nuit. I don't know how to say this. I struggle every time I hold this bottle in my hand, but y'all know the bottle, okay, how it looks, and it will be linked in the description box, all right? But this is definitely that powdery that is going to give you that makeup-y vibe, okay? So this is going to feature both iris and violet, if I'm not mistaken, but usually when you see iris, that is the one that's going to give you that cosmetic powdery vibe, okay? So if you're a fan of that, you know, look for iris in fragrances if you know you do not like that and that is not your vibe. If you see iris, that's definitely a cause for pause. Maybe try it before you buy it, okay? So this also features some rose, some jasmine, but of all of the florals, you're going to get a very prominent iris note in here. You have some blackberry, you've got some cashmere wood, which makes it a very smooth, almost creamy wearing experience. You've got some musk, and some vanilla. This is just one I love to overspray, okay? Get your compliments because it is a compliment magnet without doing too much, all right? This is quintessential femininity, period, point blank. And I can also, again, see this one being someone's signature scent. So if you like an iris note, if you want something that is soft with a very slightly fruity rose touch to it and some vanilla, get your nose on this one because it is an exquisite feminine fragrance. All right, you guys. So last but not least, it's going to be a heliotrope bomb, and that is Tardes by the house of Carner, Barcelona. Probably one of the most beautiful almond heliotrope, airy, exquisite fragrances in my collection. Now, this one very faintly reminds me of, what is it, Rose d'Amalfi? From Tom Ford, but on me that scent went very plasticky. They both have, you know, a really big, you know, heliotrope vibe essence to them when you smell them, but this one is just done to perfection. That is the difference, okay? This one wears very, like I said, airy, almondy, but you think that this is going to be a softer, closer to the body scent, but it is not. It's not a beast mode, but everybody smells this on me. I have never put this on my body, walked out of this house and not received a compliment. Usually multiple compliments. It's a compliment magnet and it is just beautiful. If you're into powdery fragrances and you've never smelled Tardes by Carner, Barcelona, stop what you're doing. Get yourself a decant and get your life. It is gorgeous. So in addition to the heliotrope, you also get some tonka bean in there. You've got some musk, plum is the fruit listed, and you have a celery note, which gives it, it was scary for me, like cause for pause, but it gives it a very unique quality. It doesn't come off as something that smells like celery to my nose, but you're like, you're smelling this and it's like, wow, there's something really unique going on in this fragrance, and it could be because of that note. Okay, you got a little rose and geranium at the top, you've got some almonds, you got some Brazilian rosewood, but the rose, the geranium only at the top. So by no means, when you smell this, you're going to be you know, overcome with rose and geranium. It's not a heavy rose scent. If anything, you're going to get tonka bean, heliotrope, almond. That is what you get. You've got a little Virginia cedarwood in here, but this is just a stunning fragrance that for this price point, you guys, for this price point, okay, niche perfumery, beautiful performance, but very soft in texture, and just like I said, this is such a quintessential feminine fragrance. You're going to love this. If that sounds like your vibe, definitely try it out. Try it out, because I do not think you will regret it. This one has just been a love at first, you know, first sniff for me, and a whole love affair ever since. Again, that is Tardes by Carner, Barcelona. All right, you guys, so that is our list for today. Drop me a comment below. Let me know fragrances that are powdery that you love, fragrances you cannot live without. If you're not a powdery girl, okay, let me know that in the comments as well. And has anything piqued your interest? Okay, because powder is not one thing. It is very different. Just as you know, vanilla can come off different in fragrances. Rose can come off different in fragrances. A powdery fragrance is the same, okay? So give some of these a try and keep me updated on your thoughts, all right? You guys, it has been real. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Be sure that the notification bell is turned on to all. And if you found any value in the content, give the video a big thumbs up as it helps the channel to grow. Again, thank you all for 18K. And again, thank you to our sponsor for today's video, Fragrance. Be sure to check the description box below and visit their website, you guys. You will not regret it, because it is a fabulous website with amazing prices, full bottles at a discount. It is real. I love you all, YouTube, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.